What's up, guys? We're back. It is me, the Wokest Grammar, and we are finding some sludge over at Postopions. I told you guys this page was going to be gold. I told you this one would be awesome. So we're looking at the Republican Party is making Jim Crow segregationists proud. Oh no, they're hanging black people or something? Like, it sounds awful. The Republican Party's biggest problem is that too many people of color are exercising their right to vote. Oh. Okay, I see what you did there. So they didn't kill any black people? No? Or wait, they're trying to make black people not vote, or they're trying to make sure just anyone, white, black, brown, whatever, isn't voting illegally. Or dead people voting. Yeah, that would be another weird one. Or yeah, we can get into it. I don't know. The party's solution is a massive push for voter suppression that would make old-time Jim Crow segregationists proud, Eugene Douchebag Robinson writes. The Conservative Political Action Conference circus last week in Orlando showed how bankrupt the GOP is, at least when it comes to ideas, principles, and integrity. Wow, what a word to use, integrity. The exact word we've been using this whole time, saying we just want to make sure that our voting process has integrity. Do you even know what that word means, man? It means we want to make sure that our elections are honest, they're good, and they're fair. That's what it means. Jeez, some idiot, some nerve to actually say that even. It's like, that's all we're looking for is just some integrity. And now you're trying to use that word? What do you want? You want anyone to be able to vote? No ID, no nothing. That's pretty much what's being pushed on the other side. It's like, no ID, you can vote whenever. Voting lasts a couple months, I mean, why don't we just start right now? Why don't I just cast my vote right now for the 2024? You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why we want it to be a one-day process. If you have an absentee ballot, you should have a valid reason. Those things all make sense because they just give way to fraud. And I don't like having the opportunity for fraud. It's like, well, we haven't seen much of it. I've never been told what happened with that 200,000 dump in Michigan. Everyone's like, oh, well, we did another count. Okay, what does that even mean? So you just counted 200,000 again. You just counted to 200,000 is pretty much what they're telling us. Because when we said we want to look at those exact 200,000, Dominion was like, oh, there's no way to check which ones came in at what time and stuff. And it's like, and now Dominion's countersuing or something, saying oh, it's like, no, what you did was horrible. We never should have used that in the first place. If they can't show us exactly who the 200,000 people who voted at 1 a.m. when they kicked all the Republicans out and pulled all the briefcases out and started counting votes at 10 times the rate they were normally counting. I mean, it took them days to get through a couple thousand, and they got 200,000 in a matter of 2 hours. So absolute sham in my opinion. I mean, what am I supposed to say about that? The election was perfectly free and fair and it was the best election I've ever seen. Sorry, I'm not going to fold on it. I need an answer. No one has given me an answer as to who those 200,000 people were. I want to be able to look through those votes myself, if anything. Jeez. Seems so unfair. And the whole point is that you are the guys who are posting in black museums and stuff that white people are indoctrinating black people with hard work and stuff. You guys are making Jim Crow segregationists very proud with your whole ideology, your whole racism, fighting racism with racism, racist battle. I don't even know what to call it anymore. All you do is throw racism around at everything. If it's a problem, it's racism. If it's anything at all, just someone doesn't like you, racism. It's like you guys can't even live in a world where it's not 100% everything is based around race. And then you turn on the news and they say everything in your life is 100% based around race. And it's like, why would you believe anything the news ever tells you? They always have an agenda. They're always trying to get us to do what they want. And it's obviously not true. Go talk to your neighbor. I've worked with hundreds, maybe thousands, I would say. I've worked with thousands of black people I've met. And I have yet to come across one that had a problem with me. Ever. It's never happened. We always get along great. I've yet to meet one that hated Trump, too. I see him and they're like, yeah, he's kind of, he's a businessman, but he's kind of an a-hole and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Have your opinion. Whatever. I've met zero who liked Biden. Zero black people who liked Biden. And I've worked with thousands of black people. And a lot of them have talked about how they either like Trump a lot or don't really like Trump. Or I've heard a lot of them say, I'm scared, don't tell anyone, but I did vote for Trump. And I was like, oh, well, that's not a problem for me. And he's like, Yeah, but like, don't tell anyone at work. I don't want anyone knowing that. People don't take that very well. Like the scared party, the punk rockers of our day, the party that's being squashed down and the media's putting their foot on their throat, the government's putting the foot on their throat, are just like Christian conservatives, like the losers of my day. But now those are like the rebels. They're the rebel alliance now. Now if you say anything about like, oh, everything's racist, white people are the only people who work hard and black people shouldn't be working hard. They're not meant to do that because we're racist. And then everyone's looking at you saying you're a racist. That it doesn't fly anymore, guys. So, you know, this whole thing, you can't turn us wanting voter integrity down to like down to Jim Crow. How does that make any sense? If anything, we want the black person's vote to count, because if, let's say, a dead person votes and a black person votes, the black person's vote just got canceled out because someone shadily entered a vote for a dead person. So that kind of stuff is always like, man, if anything, we want every black person's vote to count. I think the reason they are doing this is because they saw Trump had the biggest black support and the biggest Latino support out of any president, a Republican, so far in the past, like, what was it, like 50 years or something? The Republicans have had a hard time getting any minorities on their side, and this is finally, it's started to swing recently when you see a lot of black people just saying, you know, you guys are telling me too much what to think. Whether you're right or wrong, I don't like that. And that's what happened with Kanye. He didn't really have a strong foundation in politics. He didn't really know how it worked. He just knew that a lot of people were telling him, if you think a different way, then I'm going to be mad at you and society's going to shut you down. And he was like, I'll think however I want. I'm not going to let anyone tell me how to think. I'm a free man. Like, you guys are the enslaved ones because you can't even think for yourself. And since that started to happen, we saw a ton of black people starting to become more and more Republican. And so I think if anyone's scared and trying to pull some Jim Crow segregation stuff, it's definitely the people who are trying to squash out those black people's votes. They don't consider them black people. They consider them Uncle Toms or House N-words or whatever. I've heard them all say it. They were saying that on about Kanye. They were calling him the token N-word and all that on CNN. Like, absolutely despicable people. They're obviously the racists. And now they try and say that wanting voter integrity is racist now. Everything comes back to racism with these guys. But that's all I got for you guys. I guess let me know what you think. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.